Good afternoon, people. It is Tuesday, June 30th, and I believe this is an important video. And it might be my last video, to be honest. We'll see. What I wanted to talk about here is, first of all, sometimes the market hands you a gift. The market can be at times inefficient, and you might get a gift. And gold at 5,500 and silver at 120, those were fantastic gifts that the market gave you, literally on a gold and silver platter. All right. Now, if you took advantage of that gift, if you availed yourself to that gift, and sold and took profit, you're doing great. If you didn't, if you bought into the clowns out there, okay, and you bought all this narrative like this is the reset, the comics is being drained, all this nonsense. If you were influenced by those YouTube hacks who don't manage money, who don't move money, okay, and you didn't take the gift, well, that's unfortunate. But the market does hand you gifts, and this was a tremendous gift, okay? Now, I want to kind of talk about one person who did take the gift, okay? I saw this interview. The guy's name was, excuse me, the YouTube guy was Elisha K. Johnson, something like that, Liberty and Finance. That's his show, I guess. I would really say look this up. This interview that he did with this guy Lobo Tiger and Monaco 64. He interviewed both of them, and Lobo Tiger, who I had seen once in a while. I don't really follow him at all, but I catch him now and then, briefly, and I know pretty much for a fact that before gold and silver crash, he was sending a warning sign in a video that I saw, basically saying, it's time to lighten up. It's time to take profit and lighten up. So I believe that to be true. So in this interview, he basically said, he sold. He caught the top and he sold. Okay, and you can just see it in his face how good that feels. Okay, to sell at the top and book profits. And as I was watching this video, and I watched it like, I don't know, Sunday or Monday, I forget exactly when. This guy was spot on with what he was saying. And again, it's Elijah K. Johnstone or Johnson at Liberty and Finance. Look it up. You'll do yourself a favor. He was saying, first of all, it doesn't make you a bear, okay, if you sell, because you could always, come back in at a lower level. I said this, and that's another thing. When he was talking, I was like, I said that. Okay, I had said in one of my videos, gold is not a trade. You don't trade it every day or every week or every month or even every year. Okay, but when it triples, there's nothing wrong with taking profit. Okay, it doesn't make you a bear. Okay, there's nothing wrong with cashing a ticket. And that's what this guy was saying. So he's loaded up on cash, and he's waiting for his next entry point. And maybe it's in gold and silver, maybe it's in something else, I don't know. But now he's got all this cash. All right, so this guy was spot on. All right, now the other guy, Monaco, all right, he really didn't take any profit, right? He's holding on for dear life, I suppose, right? And in my humble opinion, he looked like a deer in the headlights. Okay? There is nothing wrong with booking profit, in my humble opinion. So I would really encourage you to watch this video. I mean, there's a lot to it. Okay? So that's number one. There's so much I want to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. Gold is about 4,000, right? Hanging out about 4,000. Silver's about 58, 59, right? 57 even. And I had said in one of my videos that it looked like maybe there was a capitulation phase there. Maybe, just a maybe, not a definite. The only thing definite I said at that time was we're closer today than we were yesterday. And I still think that to be the case, all right? Some people are calling for 3,500, okay? And let me go back, because this guy Lowell Tiger, like I say, I know for a fact, because I listened to a video he did prior to the crash, where he was saying he was going to take profit, whatever, and he was cautioning people. There's a lot of other people out there saying they sold at the top. I can't confirm that. I can't deny that. They're saying they are. But one thing that I find interesting, these people that are claiming that they sold at the top, they're waiting for 3,500 gold. That's like the magic number with them, 3,500 gold. Let me ask a question now. And I could be wrong. But if you sold at the top, let's say 5,500, and gold is now 4,000, do you really have to wait to 3,500 to get back in? I mean, we're talking $500. In the scheme of things, really not a lot. If it never gets to 3,500, you're going to miss the move. You're never going to buy it again. That's basically what you're saying. So isn't 4,000 kind of close enough? Maybe take your profit and allocate 20% at 4,000, 20% at 3,900, 20% at 3,800, whatever, and then 20% at 3,500. Maybe you don't catch the exact bottom, but you're in. I don't know. To me, that seems like the prudent thing to do. If you're so smart at cashing, buying out, selling at 5,500, you're going to try to get it right down to 3,500? That doesn't seem so smart. So I question the whole thing right there. I really have to. Okay? So, yeah, people, there's a lot going on. Bitcoin seems to be breaking down. It's got a 58K handle. There was a time when everybody was saying Bitcoin is the new gold and Bitcoin is stealing gold's thunder. Well, if Bitcoin is going down, where's the money going? It doesn't seem like it's going back into gold. So what's this about Bitcoin stealing gold's thunder? On the way up, right? Go, right? But on the way down, no. So that's another thing that just completely falls apart to me. Bonds are steady. Oil is about 70, right? So that was the other thing. Bonds are going up. The interest rates are going up. Oh, that's bad for gold. Well, the bond yields are down now. That doesn't seem to be helping gold. Oil, $90, $100, right? There's liquidity. They have to sell gold to buy oil, right? That's inflation. The Fed's going to raise rates, right? Oil's $90, $100. Well, oil's 70 now. That's not helping gold. Okay? So what's going on here? There was another very interesting little video I saw, another interview with Scott Bessent, and he was on CNBC, and he was basically saying that Venezuela is going to be using the dollar when this war with Ukraine and Russia is over. Russia will be going back to the dollar, right? We're going to flex all our advantages, right? What does that mean, flex? Flex your muscles? What does that mean exactly, Mr. Bessent? We're going to flex all our advantages, right, to have these countries on the dollar, right? To me, he's making no bones about it. The United States is defending the dollar at all costs and in all ways, in my opinion. Okay? Take it for what that's worth. And one of those ways, of course, is to crash gold, okay? But how can you ultimately defend the dollar if you never stop spending and you just create more and more dollars? It don't make sense to me. You know, the last video I said it's time to call BS. I should name this video the same thing because there's still a lot of BS out there, okay? A lot of BS. More BS is all these things you start to hear, like, and you might have heard it for quite a while now. They're going to revalue gold. Complete speculation. They're going to create a bond, a 50-year bond backed by gold, whatever. Complete speculation, right? You might have heard this one also, the COMEX. There's these way out of the money calls, right? Millions of dollars put on, like gold is going to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Complete nonsense, okay? This is all just noise, okay? If you're going to base a decision on some anonymous person that you don't know making these way out of the money calls and saying, oh, there's something going on there. I go to the racetrack. You got grandmas who are betting on the number 5 and the color red. Okay? You got decent handicappers who are weekend warriors that think they really know the game and they don't. You got insiders, right? Trainers and people who know the trainers. They know exactly what the horse is going to do, right? You got drug dealers who'll drop 15 grand, 20 grand cash on a horse. Why not? He's loaded up with cash. Am I going to follow him just because he dropped $20,000 on a horse on Friday afternoon to have a good time? He knows nothing. That's the same thing here. It's nonsense being spouted out by these people. These YouTube hacks, in my opinion. Then there's this new one also, the Mint. They created this coin, Liberty coin. I think they stamped it $20,000 on it. Oh, they tipped their hand. It's a clue. What are you kidding me? This is nonsense. They tipped their hand. Predictive programming. Gold's being revalued to $20,000. They got nothing better to talk about, these people. So, I don't know, people. There's so much more to talk about. I mean, these same people now, they're claiming they sold. They're claiming they're going to get back in at 3,500. The new narrative now is, how long is it going to take? 2, 3, 4 years. Oh, in 4 years, it'll be fine. In 5 years, it'll be fine. What are we living in the days of Noah? We don't all live to 500, 600 years old. It's dead money for 5 years, okay? As I talk, more and more things come into my head. These same YouTube hacks, this is another narrative they're pushing, right? And more than one say it, right? Well, last year, when silver was 30, you'd be ecstatic that it's 60 now. Really? Let's think about that. Now, they didn't, but let's think about that. In 2000, what's silver now? Let's just call it 58, right? In 2011, when it basically hit 50, right? That was 15 years ago, right? So in 15 years, it went from 50 to 57. Would you be ecstatic about that? No, but they conveniently don't mention that. They say last year was 30, so this year it's basically 60. You're ecstatic. But they don't say 15 years ago it was 50, and now it's basically 57, 58. It's just more nonsense. All right? Another narrative I've been hearing, and this is all just sundry things I'm pulling out of my head, okay? Another thing I've been hearing, oh, gold, you're not going to get rich with gold. It's just savings. It's just savings. You know what? Let's go back to the interview with this guy, Elisha K. Johnson, and this guy, Lobo Tiger, and the NACO 64, all right? Because this is BS. It's just savings. You're not going to get rich. If you hold on, okay, at 5,500 and it comes all the way back down to 3,500 or 4,000, and you just holding on and letting it go and letting it go and riding it out, yeah, you're not going to get rich. If you just hold on for dear life all the time and never book profit, you're not going to get rich that way. But like Logo Tiger, if you sell it at 5,500 and get back in at 4,000 or 3,500, you will get rich. So the people who say it's just savings and you're not going to get rich with gold, no, they can't get rich. Okay? It's not the vehicle, okay, the gold, it's them, in my humble opinion. Okay? More nonsense. So, I guess I'm going to wrap it up, people, because, and I say could be my last video because there's nothing left to say at this point, okay? Gold's at 4,000. I don't know what the bottom is. Maybe it's here. Maybe it is 3,500. I don't know. How long is it going to take to get back up to those highs? I don't know. Months, years, nobody really knows. Okay? So I'm not just going to, if I got nothing to say, I'm not going to say it. Okay? My business isn't making videos like some people. Okay? Some people's business is making videos, selling mugs, getting likes, begging for subscriptions. That's not me. When there's something to say, I'll say it. Right now, it's kind of like, it is what it is. So we'll see. That's all I want to say, people. That's it. Just be careful, because there's a lot of BS and misinformation out there. So we'll see what happens. Beautiful day out there today. If you can, get out, take a good long walk, clear your mind, stretch your legs and arms, breathe in through your nose, out through your nose, okay? And just value the day. Get out there. It's really important. So that's all, people. Ciao.